I've been putting this off for far too long. I don't know why I haven't done this sooner, but good a time as any for me to get this out of the way. Little backstory here. About 3-4 months ago, some guy linked me a video of the guy you're about to see. The video that you're about to see, really. And he said that he needs me to refute this guy because he's like, oh, he makes a lot of good points. And I've seen, like, little parts of it, and I've downloaded it, so you'll be actually seeing the video. And from what I've seen, none of it is very impressive, so hopefully you'll get a kick out of this, and hopefully I'll educate you on being uneducated. Let's go!
You hate school, and you love to walk away and toss your books into the bushes and shout, free, free at last. No more school for me. There's no question when you do that, you'll be happy. But before you do that, I want you to carefully consider what this may do for your future.
The last part of what he just said, you are going to be hearing over and over and over and over again.
What this will do for your future.
First of all, the future is not in the hands of the school. The future is in the hands of you. Whatever you do in your future barely has any reflection on how long you went to school, what school you went to, anything like that. The big misconception that I really just want to get out of the way immediately is that the misconception that everybody hears is that if you complete school, you are set for life. You are educated. It shows in your records that you can do anything. Not true. You need specific skills for specific purposes later on in your future. There's no one-size-fits-all school that if you complete, oh, you're set for life, congratulations.
There are many things in life that we don't like to do. After a day of work, I'd rather relax than fix a leaky toilet. I'd rather get up in the morning to go fishing than head off to work. I'd rather play a game of tennis than fix my car. But if you want to live a good and satisfying life, you must learn to do the things that are important. Don't get me wrong. There are times to relax, go fishing, and play tennis. But there are also times one must learn to work.
And I assume your little bigoted lifestyle is going to tell me when and where to do these things, right? There's no plan to life at all, right? It's spontaneous and free. Life is do whatever you need to do. There's no rigid planning of getting born, going to school, getting a job, getting married, having kids, retiring, and dying. That's not the life plan, is it? No, you get to do whatever you want. Oh, wait, yes, it is. Because that's what we've been taught, and it's unfortunate.
Those who are successful know when to work and when to play. Unfortunately, many teens think that quitting school is a way to avoid the problems they have in school. Yes, it avoids the problems with school. But what these teens don't realize is that many problems they'll face in their future because of their dumb decision to quit school.
Thanks for outlining what these generic problems are that people avoid by quitting school. I'm gonna assume you're talking about getting bullied or having responsibility, things like that. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Obviously, if you quit school, you're gonna face a lot less of that because you're gonna be not forced to go to some place where you're subjected to that every single day of your life, which could break the minds of many kids. Ask Dylan Klebold. Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe just like how some people aren't fit for specific jobs, maybe some kids aren't fit for school? Maybe school just doesn't work for them? Have you ever thought about that? School did not work for me at all. I despised every minute I was there. I didn't even focus on any of my work, any of the other stuff, because I just despised the very existence of the establishment that I was forced to go to. Just consider that.
I own 3 businesses. I want you to put yourself into my shoes. You're now the boss, and there are 2 applicants before you who have the same qualification, except one quit school and the other one didn't. Which one would you more likely hire?
Oh, that's simple for me. That's very, very simple. If one guy went to school and I was the boss of my own company, and some guy with the same qualifications for the job came in except one didn't go to school and one did, well, I'd obviously hire the guy who didn't go to school, because the guy who did go to school would have trillions of other opportunities out there just simply because he went to school. That's the one staple of anyone's career is, oh, I went to school, so that therefore I'm able to get this and this and this and this and this job. But if one guy guy's been working all of his life and has the qualifications for a job, why would you deny him that? Why would you say, okay, you've been working so hard all your life for this, you quit school so you could pursue this, well, I'm sorry, but this guy went to school, and you're going to have to go find something else to do. Sorry about that. You just wasted your life. Thanks. I'm not part of the crowd who quit school to pursue a career, but there are people who do that. There are people who cannot afford the time to go maintain a school and, you know, maintain a decent grade average and help out a family or something like that by getting a job. You know, there are people who actually quit school to pursue careers. So short answer, I'd hire the guy who didn't go to school because the guy who did would have thousands of other opportunities out there. The guy who didn't wouldn't.
Many high-paying jobs will never be available to you because you quit school. Getting a high school diploma shows you have the grit to stay until you finish.
Who's to say that I even want a high-paying job? And just because I have the grit to finish doesn't mean I enjoy your line of work. Just because I grin and bear it doesn't mean that it's the right thing for me. Wouldn't it be more respectable just as a human being to say, if you're not happy here, go find something that makes you happy? No, you want people who are mindless idiots to just sit there and do your work whether they like it or not, because they're doing your work for you and making you rich. And that's not the kind of world that I want. Strap in tight, because this next little piece he's going to be talking about is pretty damn long.
I took an academic course in high school where I had to take algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. Would I ever use this knowledge? I didn't have the slightest idea. But I was required to take these subjects in order to graduate from high school. I became a tool and die maker, and lo and behold, I needed to know algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. The Korean War was going on, and I was drafted into the Marine Corps. When I got out of the service, I got married and went to college and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree. Then at the age of 40, I decided to become a high school teacher in New York, and again I had to go to college. When I was in high school, I never dreamed of going to college. My entire life would be different if I had quit school. Today, one of the 3 businesses that I have is the largest of its kind west of the Mississippi River, where we do electrical discharge machining. And in this business, we live in the world of algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. You think I'd ever accomplish that if I had taken the easy road and quit school? Never! Quitting school is foolish.
And I'm quite sure in that business you do personally all of the algebra, geometry, and trigonometry, right? You know, you don't hire people to do all that for you and make you rich. You do all of that yourself, right? You want to know something that's really kind of cute? I've been kind of paying attention to all of the things that I learned in school and have never ever once used since leaving. And the most abundant of such is the food table. I'm pretty sure every person who's ever been to school knows about like what the food table is. There's dairy and fucking fish and all this other stuff. I have not ever once seen anybody use that in reference to like nutrition or health of any sort. It's just a little kid's chart. That's all it is. And you have to memorize it for no real reason other than you have to memorize it. Do you use that in your little electrical business? Is that what you use? Do you use your food chart? No, you don't. Do you use your philosophy course? Do you use your chemistry course? Do you use your fucking astronomy course in your electrical company? No, you don't. If school was anywhere decent of an establishment, it would have been personalized for your specific needs of algebra, geometry, and trigonometry.
Here's what one dropout had to say. I consider dropping out of high school to be one of the biggest mistakes in my life. It seemed like an easy way out at the time, but everything that I have worked to accomplish after dropping out has been made much harder by that decision.
Alright, now that's just fucking stupid. What does he have to compare that with? In alternate dimension, did he complete school, and then he completed his life, and then he somehow went back and decided to drop out, and now he thinks everything's much harder because he completed school once, and now he didn't, and he's comparing it to each other? No! And again, here's the misconception of once you quit school, everything is easy, everything is great, you don't have to work anymore after that. No, you still fucking do. You still have to apply, you still have to acquire the specific requirements to get certain jobs. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Next.
Detroit News reported Quote, dropouts pay a high price too. They are twice as likely to be unemployed and more than twice as likely as others to be in poverty. And when they do find jobs, they make 2/3 as much as a typical Michigan worker.
Okay, it's time for me to throw some goddamn numbers at you, so here we go. In a poll done by Salary.sg, 45% of fresh graduates polled were without jobs. And 80% of those who did graduate and find jobs are only making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which doesn't sound like a high-paying job. And I skipped some bullshit story he just told about some girl named Ashley who dropped out and is feeding her kid with food stamps, and she's 21 now and still jobless and whatever. But here's another little story. This guy who's on this website, he's complaining about the current state of the economy and how he can't get a job. I am a fresh grad and my major is BIS, Business Information Systems, and I was ranked 4th among BIS grads and I am still jobless 2 years later. You want to know why some people succeed and why some people fail? Because it's completely based on, oh, the magic word, individuality. Some people get lucky and some people work hard, and some people don't get lucky and work hard, and some people get lucky and don't work hard. It's completely based on the person. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to getting a job or schooling. Why is that so hard to comprehend?
My strong advice is don't be a fool and quit school.
Now here's my strong advice. Go fuck yourself.
What?